Good morning, my dear students. I welcome you all for this lovely story session. Today, I am going to tell you a beautiful story, and the story is about a giant. And the giant was very selfish. So, because of that, the name of the story is Selfish Giant. And this giant, he was very huge and he was very big, and all the people, they were scared of him. And the giant has a very beautiful garden. In his garden, he had lovely flowers, he had beautiful trees, and even there were beautiful grass also. And the beautiful flowers, they were growing on the grass, and the flowers, they were looking like stars. And in that garden, every afternoon, the children used to go and they used to play there. They were enjoying there. And you know why the children were going to there? Yes, because the garden was empty. During this time, the giant was not here in the garden. And where he had gone? He had gone to meet his friend. And the giant, he stayed there with his friend for 7 years. And one day he decided, now this is a big time that I am living here. Now I should go back to my garden. But when he went there, when he reached to his garden, he saw. What did he saw? He saw there are so many children and the children are playing there, and he was very angry at this time, and he said to all the children, "Hey you, what you are doing here? This is my garden. My garden means my own garden, and I will not allow anybody to play inside this garden. So you go from here. I will not allow you." And now what he decided? He decided that he will build a very high wall. And on that wall, what he did? He hanged a notice board. And on that notice board, he had written, "Trespassers will be prosecuted." It means entry is not allowed in that garden, because he was very selfish. Now, what happened? The children, they were not coming to the garden. Nobody was coming to play there. And when the school got over, all the children, they were roaming here and there, and they were talking about that beautiful garden. Now what happened? Spring came everywhere, but in the garden, what did is there? In the garden there was totally winter. Everything was covered with snow and frost. Even the birds, they were not coming, they were not singing songs there, children were not playing there, and even the trees and flowers were forgot to blossom. And the giant think that if everywhere is spring season, why there is winter in my garden? Why the winter is so late? And he sat at the window and looked out at his cold in the garden. And he thought that maybe there will be a change in the weather this time. But one morning, the giant, when he woke up, he heard some lovely music, and it was a beautiful bird who was singing outside the window. And that time the giant think that it is the loveliest music, it is the most beautiful music in the world. Now what he saw? He saw the most beautiful sight. The most beautiful sight. What was that? He was looking that from a small hall the children they entered into the garden. And now where the children were playing, there the birds were flying around and they were chopping, they were singing beautiful songs, and some children they were playing on the grass. And it was a lovely scene according to that giant. He was very happy and he was thinking that what has happened. Then there is only one corner in that it was still winter. But why it was winter there? He saw that a small boy, he is crying. And what he did now? The giant looked at that child and his heart melted. Then he thanked himself, "Oh my God, how selfish I have been." Then he went to that child, he picked him up, he lifted him up in his arm, and then what he did? He set the child on the branch of a tree. And now he was thinking, it is because of only the children. As I was selfish and I ran away all the children. Because of this, it was still winter in my garden. And now I can observe that if the children are coming to play here, what is there? Everything is fine. The birds are chirping, they are singing their songs, flowers are coming out, and everything is fine. It was the beautiful scene. Flowers, trees were green, birds were chirping, and the flowers they were looking very nice in his garden. So now onwards, the giant he decided that I will not stop the children to come here, and they can come, they can play there. Now what he was doing? He was also playing with the children. He was also enjoying with them. And now every afternoon when the school was over, the children came and played with the giant. Now the giant thought that, hey, I can say that I have many beautiful flowers in my garden, but the children are the most beautiful flowers at all. So the message we got from this story is, we should not be selfish. We should think about others also. Their happiness, their joy, their sorrow, we should think about them. If we will think about them, in return, they will pay the same to us. So, it was a very nice story. Hope you will enjoy it. Thank you. Have a nice day.